If you are retired and you're going into 2026 and you think you can't level up your personal finance game, well, you're wrong. And we're here and we're going to give you all the answers. Welcome back to another episode of Playbook of the Wealthy. My name is Dave Grant. My co-host is Heather Townsend. We are talking about the Retiree's Wealthy Playbook for 2026.
Look at your energy just go. This is your space.
Can you tell I work with retirees a lot?
No, not at all.
This is where I'm like, okay, do we have 4 hours? No? Okay.
You get so excited.
All right. If you've not been to our podcast before, we dive into content. We then answer questions on that content. And then we share personal and professional things about our life. Whether you want to hear about it or not, you got to hear it.
So there is a foundation to retirees having a good plan, a good financial solid plan, right? One, you need priorities. We need to know, what do you need monthly? Mm-hmm. What is most important to you? And what is your bucket list items? And are we doing them this year?
Nice.
I checked that box?
Yeah.
Green. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then there's trade-offs, right? This is where our skill, I think, really comes in and gives the clients, okay, spend enough to enjoy life now versus preserve assets to avoid not having enough or future anxiety.
That's the hardest level of retiree planning.
Exactly.
It's hard.
And what's even harder is you need to front load these expenses early, because this is when most of the time retirees are their healthiest. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to have this fear of regret of overspending early. And then, of course, there's also inflation eroding fixed spending assumptions. So, there are some trade-offs. So we need to make sure we balance that with the priorities, right?
After everything you've just said, when a retiree comes to me and they say, I don't need an advisor, I'm fine. It's almost like that emoji of the head exploding. I'm like, how? We just listed all these things that you have to do to get a fulfilled retirement. How can you do that by yourself if you don't have all the knowledge you're supposed to?
I have an answer for you.
Okay.
They just live off Social Security.
No.
Well, I'm just saying, come on. Those people I don't think need it. Like I would not take them as a client.
Talking about wealthy people.
I know, but I'm just saying, right? Okay. I also want to note on these trade-offs, I don't know about you, but at least the studies have proven, I don't think that's the case for our clients because we do our job well, but did you know that underspending is more common than running out of money? That's like the whole die with zero concept, right?
I could definitely see that. The fear, just driving people not to spend the money because they might need it later, or they're going to run out, the market's going to crash, things are going to get so much more expensive, and they just don't spend anything.
That's so sad. That's like the tragedy. I think that's worse than almost overspending, to be honest, is having that regret.
Yeah.
And that actually, another little spoiler alert, I had a really great conversation with one of my friends who is in financial freedom, young woman, sold her business, freaking awesome. But we were having this discussion, and it's just like, wow, this is an episode in itself. Okay, but I won't go on my tangent. And last, peace of mind is part of the foundation. Like, do you have peace of mind with your money?
The majority of people do not.
That's my goal for my retirees, and I know it is for yours too. That is like number one. You've worked so hard to make all this money. Now it's time to enjoy it and have peace.
So when we are talking to retirees, a lot of it comes down to, okay, well, what did you spend last year? Is it going to be the same going into next year? How is that related to your portfolio and your other income sources? And does this still work?
All right, I got to ask, when is it ever the same as last year?
Never. But in a perfect world, let's map everything out and let's hope that this works. But it's never the same.
No.
I mean, things get more expensive. Like inflation for one.
That's been our thing. I think in the last 3 or 4 years, inflation has really come back.
Yeah.
Like that is the thing we're dealing with. Yes.
It's been hard. The nice part is that has cushioned that is the stock market has gone up in tandem. So people have been like, I need more money. I'm like, great, you got more.
Yeah, no problem.
It's when we would get into the case of inflation's going up and the stock market's starting to stall and it's going to get a little dicey.
One thing I wanted to state, especially if people aren't clients of ours, just to give them, again, peace of mind. The biggest thing I noticed this year of why we are increasing my retirees' distributions is health insurance was the biggest problem child. Not groceries, not, travel. It was fluffing health insurance. Now, when I'm saying health insurance, this is for those that aren't on Medicare yet.
Yeah.
These are the retirees that have retired early. Health insurance, I had to look it up. You make fun of me, but I like my data.
You do?
And then I like the opinions, and then we blend them together. So I had to look up the data. The data is coverage on the ACA marketplace is rising 26% on average in 2026. That is a huge percent.
It's a big deal.
That's way more than what is inflation this year? What was COLA? Like 2 point something? So 26%. That's like what, 10 times inflation?
Yeah. Well, if you thought inflation at 9% was a pain, health insurance going up 25% a year that's nuts.
So that's one of the reasons that a lot of my retirees, we had to increase their distributions in 2026.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a little negative. We'll now go to the more positive.
I have found a lot of retirees when they're talking to me about, okay, can we look at 2026? It's not the everyday living, it's the fun things,
No, I love
the big things. Like we're looking to purchase vehicles, we're looking to do trips, we're looking at the second house, we're looking at XYZ. Can we afford that? I love saying yes. Sometimes you got to say,
I hate saying no. I hate saying no.
Oh, you say no? Do you massage it and say, let's look at some alternatives?
It depends on the client. If they need the no, I'm like, no. But no, normally it's, I think questions are the openly manipulative. Okay, so if you did this, would you be okay because there's a consequence sometimes.
And I think then it all ties down to, okay, like you're saying, it's the why behind that purchase or the why behind the big ticket items. Is this driven from your personal financial plan and the goals you want to achieve that you've talked to your spouse, if applicable, and it's fulfilling you as part of your overall retirement plan? Or is this driven from what your next door neighbor did and it meant something to them, but you just want to kind of keep up with the Joneses a little bit and prove that you're having a great retirement?
I actually have a really good example from this from my registered life planning training. One of the trainers was explaining he had a client and they said, I want a yacht. What is a yacht? $100 million, maybe 40. Like that's a very insane goal. And that would really hurt their plan.
Sure.
So then he was like, well, what is it about the yacht that you want the yacht? And what it ended up actually being is he just wanted to be on the ocean every day, walking with his kids along the beach. So what is that, $5 million of a property on the beach? Like, that's a lot cheaper than a $30-40 million yacht that probably, or 100 or whatever it is, it really is just a $5 million property on the beach, right? So it's Any big expenditures? Is that something? I feel like that's something you talk about.
Those are the less fun conversations.
I know, but we have to be aware of them.
Yeah.
I have to plan for them. And I did have a client buy a car last year. Two of my retirees bought cars.
In your retirement plan for these people, are you mapping that out as this is an extra withdrawal each year and it's going to repeat after every 5 years?
No, because I have so many buffers in there already. And I think it depends on the client. Some clients, if they're in a high withdrawal rate, then yes. If they're in a low withdrawal rate, I already know I have wiggle room.
Okay.
So it's okay. And then I just run it through. Also, again, this is why it's so personal financial planning. Some of my clients lease. They don't want even the headache of owning a car. So it's already built in their cash flow of this monthly payment for the car with their distribution.
So I do map it out for retirees. One, because it's a big ticket item. Like it would be something to pull out the portfolio. But also it's that conversation of, is this part of your plan, or you just want the new car because your neighbor bought the new car? This isn't something that we've talked about. You're deviating from your plan. And so if we've said, okay, if it's a married couple, for example, one of you is going to get a new car every 10 years. So that means that every 5 years, slow down. Every 5 years, one of you is going to change a car or however that ends up being. Well, if they then come back and say, oh, it's been 2 years, let's talk about cars. I'm like, well, how important is that to you? And then it becomes the whole trade-off conversation of this doesn't map out what you originally agreed. This is a big ticket item. Let's talk about this.
Yes.
And then it comes down to the root of why are you doing this? And so it comes down to those conversations again. All
right. So we got to plan for the big expenditures. Really, because I also don't want you jumping tax brackets. That's the other one, right? Like we need to plan this in, these distributions.
Yeah.
And it changes. Does it not change your distribution plan? It changes mine. Like if I know we're going to take another $50,000, $100,000 out of the portfolio, I'm going to pick where I do that from.
Yeah, I want this mapped out.
Yes.
I want a complete understanding of the next 12 months of where this money's coming from. And I want minimal surprises, because surprises mean you're paying extra money in taxes.
Yeah, I like planning. We like to control the tax bracket. Dave and I like control there. All right. I also like, how do you feel about your assets, your risk, and your plan? That touch in. How do you do that with your clients? How do you do that?
I kind of pose the question of, this past year, was this what you expected? Is this what you thought retirement was going to be? Did you live the life that you were imagining it was going to be?
It's a really good question. I'm going to steal that.
Okay. Sometimes I don't ask it because they're already living their dream life. I'm like, I already know the answer to that question.
That's true.
But then the answers then kind of boil me down to, okay, are we designing your plan in the right way? If it's yes, then I'm not changing anything. If they're saying, we didn't really get much out of this year, then it becomes an exploration of, well, what are you looking for? What is going to make this year more enjoyable for you, more fulfilling? And then we back into the money of it. And then that determines to me, is this plan well designed? Is it taking the appropriate amount of risk?
Yes.
That I don't bother clients with. I don't think that's what they need to be doing. They need to be designing that life, and I'm telling them it's all possible, or we can kind of get you there. The one thing about the spending before we go into taxes is health.
Ooh.
So retirees and health is something that it's always there. It's always on the back burner of, okay, you're living your best life now, but this could end at some point because health is going to come into it. And it's hard because I've had these questions of, I'm seeing someone slip mentally or physically. And it's a case of, how long do you ride that out? Do you bring that up? Do you have a conversation with their trusted person, whether it's a spouse or someone else? So that's always in the back of my mind. But I think it needs to be in the back of everybody who is a retiree planning their retirement of, when are we going to get to the optimal part of our retirement and it's going to start to slow down? For some people, that's a shock and it happens really fast. For others, it's that gradual decline. And if people are seeing it, then they can start to plan for it. But it's something that's always in the back of my mind.
If that hit you home and you're listening and you are in your 60s, do the things now. Do them now. These are your go-go years. It's the weirdest name, but it works.
It does.
It's your go-go years. And it's really true. I saw it with my grandma. It was like 75. She just didn't want to travel anymore. It was that magical age.
Yeah.
And it is very rare that people in their late 70s, early 80s are wanting to get on those long international flights. There are some, and I think that that's incredible, but it's not something you can count on.
I've had the reverse as well. Some people who are in their 60s are dealing with old parents and they can't do it. And now they're at the point where those parents have passed. I am forcing them.
Yes.
I need you to do this in the next 2 years. You're going to feel like it is exorbitant to your expending, to your lifestyle. It's nothing you've done before, but you've sacrificed now and in all prior years. Now this is about you. Very uncomfortable feeling because they're used to serving their family. But I'm like, this is your time. And I am going to throw money at you and you're going to spend it. You're not allowed to give it back. Go.
Speaking of health, some of my clients got some new information this year on their health that changed the plan, and it was material. And I'm so glad that my clients, I think this is where having that open relationship where you're comfortable with your advisor to share. And look, I don't need all their personal health details if they're not comfortable, but just, hey, Heather, and even with tears in their eyes, like, I got some new health information. I think we need to change my projected living, like age to live to.
That's hard.
But it's so important because it's like, well, then they can spend more because I'm not going to need their assets too long. They're going to take Social Security earlier. Like, these things materially change the plan.
Yeah.
And you need to tell your advisor about that if it changes. Now, can we talk taxes? So much lighter. We went from health to like, let's go into taxes. Wah.
Yeah. People thought this was a light episode. Nope. Let's go to taxes.
Taxes. It's just a few things. I'll try to make it light and it's actually not. I'll start with the bad news. That there's some good news for you retirees. All right. So charitable contributions, many of my retirees are giving. So I think this is important. If you itemize, there's that AGI floor, basically 0.5%. You can't deduct of your charity. It's so weird. I'm not going to bore you with the details. It's small. It's half of 1%.
Yep.
It's a floor of your AGI. All right. And then if you don't itemize though, which I don't think not as many retirees will itemize this year with what I'm going to talk about next. So this will actually affect our retirees. Yeah. You can now deduct charitable contributions without itemizing 1,000 single, 2,000 married. So I think that's great. The big thing that happened in 2025 that is happening till 2028, and this is important when we talk strategies today, is there's this extra deduction for 3 more years. You get an extra $6,000 deduction added to your standard deduction if you're 65 and older. And if you're married, that's another $12,000 of income you're getting a deduction on. So, the standard deduction is $30,000 plus. Now you're adding 12 if you're married. I mean, that's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
It's like 46, 47, 48,000 of not taxed income. Opportunity.
But
it phases out. Yes, it phases out, sadly. At 75 single, $150,000 married.
Yeah, this is particularly for lower income retirees, but we can design lower income as advisors because we know how to play the tax game.
Exactly. And don't forget the pesky net investment tax, what most of our retirees deal with, is $200 single, $250 married. So you want to watch that. It's an extra 3.8% tax you pay as soon as your income goes above that on any investment income, which all our clients have. So you talk about this. This is your, you get so excited. We kind of differ on Roth conversions, I think, a little.
You see the smile and the twinkle in my eyes with Roth conversions?
Yes.
All right. So Roth conversions, if you're not aware, I'll talk directly to you. Roth conversions, you are taking the pre-tax portion of your investment account for retirement, so 401k or IRA. You are taking the money out, you're paying the taxes on it, and you're moving it to a Roth investment account, retirement account, which means it's going to be tax-free forever. So you're paying the taxes now, never again. But you have to be careful when you do that for tax bracket purposes. So for retirees, I am finding when they leave their high-paying job, typically they're not leaving and hitting Social Security right away. They've got these empty years of no income. I got to figure out where it's coming from. And so that's the prime time to figure out, okay, let's do some Roth conversions. Because if they've been working with me prior to that, we've already set aside a lot of cash to live on for the next 2 to 3 years. And so they have zero income. They don't need any income because all they're in cash.
Yes.
So now they've got the perfect opportunity to do Roth conversions, harvest some gains from, appreciated securities. They are playing the dream game from a tax perspective.
Yes.
And I sit there until the wee hours of the morning, running these scenarios and just, I'm in heaven. Because it's beautiful.
That's the strategy I love. That's like where I get it. Like my quiet, I do love it. And finding that break-even analysis. I don't want you to fall off your chair. I did a massive Roth conversion in 2025.
I can't fall off the chair.
Why?
Because I'll hit the microphone. But
are you shocked? Yes.
Yeah, you don't really do that.
Can I tell you how genius this idea was?
Okay, go ahead.
So you know how the energy tax credits are gone?
Yep.
And at the time, we don't know if they're going to roll over. We have to assume that they're not going to roll over, carry over to 2026. This client gave huge charity. We didn't know about the energy tax credits expiring. So we had like $14,000 of credits that could have been expiring.
Okay.
We did a Roth conversion to jump up the income so that she could get all the tax credits.
Oh, that's smart.
And why this also worked is, yes, she's going to pay a little tax on that, but she's also probably going to inherit a lot of IRAs. So it's like she needs Roth in her portfolio.
Yeah. So I think that's where the bigger planning comes in. Like, yes, if you're retired and your tax bracket is low, you can start to do that. But you may even want to do it and pay more taxes on it if in 10, 15 years, through inheritance or whatnot, you're going to get a large amount of pre-tax money that is just going to flood your situation and make all of it subject to taxes. So there's a long game in this too.
And I mean, just as a reminder, if anyone's listening, the pre-tax game of inheriting IRAs today is a different game because it's not like, I can just build it in with your other RMDs. It's like, I have to take it over 10 years, or in 10, it could drastically change my tax bracket game.
Yeah. Roth conversions, sometimes you can be smart with it because when the market dips.
Yes.
This is why I don't say I track the market, but I'm aware of what the market's doing.
Yes.
So when we had tariffs at the start of 2025 and the market just took a dump, that was when I called up various clients and I said, okay, your $100,000 allotment that we were going to do for a Roth IRA, that has dropped to 75. But we can still do 100, stay in the same tax bracket, but essentially you're converting an amount that's going to instantly grow if the market just bounces back. So we need to do that now before it bounces back in your pre-tax account so we can move it early and let it grow back and it's tax-free.
So to be clear, these were people you already had Roth conversions in your plan. You're just timing it when the market takes a dip. Do it then, because you can convert more.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's
great.
Fortuitous, I think is the word, but it's never something I'm planning for. I'm always going to do the Roth conversion. But if the market dips, we're doing that paperwork right there and then.
Great planning.
We are getting into tax season. The part that I enjoy for some people, I don't enjoy for others, because they end up bringing or scanning a chunk of 1099s and paperwork that shouldn't be a chunk. They could simplify accounts, they could simplify their process and make their tax game a lot easier. So I think if you're going into 2026 and you realize, okay, my tax situation is always complicated because of the amount of paperwork, well, let's be deliberate. Let's figure out a redesign where we can either consolidate accounts, get rid of some investments, simplify your approach, and then it simplifies your tax game.
I mean, going back to the foundation, when clients come to me and I simplify, like, okay, you had an IRA here, you had an IRA here, you had a 401k here, and we like that, and I get my arms around it and get it all in, we all know, my pretty little bow. It works faster. Like, I see their wealth grow faster because it's all organized and flowing how it should go. Like, when you have all those accounts, how can you track if it needs rebalancing? How can you track what's really going on? If it's tax opt, I mean, it's a mess.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that.
And if you're a client who has a K1, I have a couple of you. I love you, but I really can't wait to the moment that they're gone.
I have a lot of clients with K1s, but they have businesses, so that's different. Yes. Did income affect IRMAA? I know, IRMAA. Oh, IRMAA. These names.
All right,
IRMAA.
let's do IRMAA. Income-related monthly adjustment amount for your Medicare premiums. And that's based on your income.
Wow, that was a lot of words, Dave. Basically, in Eli 5 fashion, you make too much, the government penalizes you and makes your Medicare premiums higher. How did I do? That was great.
It's great.
Yeah.
I find that advisors really focus on this. Online forums, specifically.
Okay.
They're like, I can't generate too much income because it's going to increase the premiums of so-and-so's Medicare. And I sit back and I'm like, in the nicest way, I don't care. Because A, it's going to be 2 years from now.
Yes.
Situations could be a lot more different in 2 years. B, it's a 1-year problem if we are spiking income this year and it's going back down. So it's a blip. It's a 12-month problem.
That's different.
And 3, it doesn't actually impact a client as much as you would think.
Not the first bracket. If you're in really high, the higher your income, it's like the tax system. It keeps going up.
Sure.
But one thing is, one of my clients is already aware. I think it's just being aware. And I'm like, look, just so you know, if we continue at this, we're going to hit IRMAA. And they're like, okay.
That's the reaction that I think people who have a lot of wiggle room in their plan, that's what they give.
Because they want to enjoy their money.
Exactly.
And I agree with them. I think it's our job to be aware of it and know where you hit these things. I will tell you, there is one client that, and now I have another one that it's their first time because their previous advisor put them in all these expensive mutual funds. I've told you this story before, where all these capital gain distributions, and then they were selling stocks, so they had huge capital gains. They put them in IRMAA. And like, this is a client they have a big portfolio, but like, they didn't need to be on IRMAA.
Sure.
This could have been avoided. So I'm going to try to file the form and get it removed when I do their tax return.
Yeah. I think there's 2 problem clients. They're not problems, but their mentality is, it's when they have a lot of money that they don't need. So they're living off fixed income, pension, Social Security, and they don't want to use that money because of the increase in IRMAAs being triggered.
Oh, that's just lost.
So I'm like, you may be living a great retirement, but are you living the best retirement? And you're just focused on this one little thing. I want
the best. I want the best for my clients. That's what I strive for. I don't want good.
I know.
Who wants good?
But then also going back to Roth conversions, like that, yes, it could be appropriate, but there's going to be a consequence if you do a Roth conversion and it goes up in tax brackets and you're going to trigger IRMAA.
Anything else you would say, Mr. Retiree?
I have 3.5 hours more of content, but I am aware that that's inappropriate.
So I get my bow?
You get to do your bow.
Okay. It's really similar to the one we did for the high income earners. Number 1, annual spending review. How did it go last year? What do you need from your portfolio this year? Do we need to increase it? Can your plan handle it? Any big ticket items? and we come up with that distribution target for the year. Then we put the plan in place, and then we execute. Boom, boom, boom.
Wonderful.
You like it?
Your bows are on point today.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
All right, before we move on to our next segment, if you are revisiting this podcast, it's not your first time, I need something from you. If you can give a like, a comment, a follow, subscribe, it would really help us spread this message to a lot more people and help people with their financial journey.
I really like your comments and your questions. Please email.
If this is your first time here, don't do anything. Sit back and enjoy and figure out if you do want to come back for another episode. We're going into the next segment of our podcast. It is the question segment. It is called What Would You Do? Question number 1. I got a letter stating that my healthcare premiums will be going up this year due to IRMAA. Mm-hmm. Does this go down? And how can I be more mindful next time?
I mean, the IRMAA adjustment changes every year, right? It's like, because they get those it comes with the Social Security letter, and it's like, oh, you've hit IRMAA.
Well, I think there's things that people need to be aware of. Like, this is a 2-year look back.
Yes.
The things you did 2 years ago is going to trigger what your premiums are for Medicare B and D this year.
For 2026, IRMAA, that they're paying from their Social Security, normally that's how it goes, it's based on your 2023 tax return.
Right. And it's one time. It's reviewed every single year. So if you had a really high income in 2023 and you couldn't file a letter of appeal and bring it down, it's a 12-month issue. Then it's going to look at your 2024 income to reset it going forward. So if it's a problem, it's a short-term one.
And to give you an idea of when they start, it's 106 single and 212 married is when the first IRMAA adjustment takes place. And then it goes up based on more and more income.
Yep.
And I do want you to know that if it's like, no, this is not going to continue, I want to get this removed, there is a way, there's a form.
There's a special circumstance. Like if you sold a company when you retired, that's not going to happen every single time. So you can file an appeal paperwork if it's a special circumstance to then say, this shouldn't adjust my IRMAA because it was a one-time thing, remove it.
Yeah, I did that with my client who sold a rental property, and I was like, no, they're retired, remove. And they did.
That's pretty good for rental property.
Second home, maybe? I don't remember. Okay. We are planning many big trips over the next 2 years. How do we know if this extra expense works in our situation?
If you've got the buffer, spend the money and do those trips. That's going to be for a subset of people. I would say for most people, it's going to be, we've got these trips. We've been living on our portfolio. We might not have that extra wiggle room. Then it's a game of trade-offs. Like, what have you been doing this year that you could cut back on in order to do those trips? If you're not willing to do that, then the trips might not even happen because money doesn't grow on trees. It's finite. That's when you got to dig down into the why. Like, why are you doing these trips? Why are they important? Is it more important than your current lifestyle? Are you willing to sacrifice that lifestyle to do those trips? On the surface, it's a money problem. Deeper down, it's a why problem.
Let's give examples. Like for me, it's withdrawal rate. I can already tell. I mean, I run it through the plan, but there are ones immediately where I'm like, oh, no problem. For example, their withdrawal rate's 3%. So you have a $10 million portfolio. They're only taking $300,000 from their portfolio. Yeah, you can take those 1 to 2. I mean, I'll run it, but it's probably not going to move the retirement probability of success very much. Okay, but you're at like a 6% withdrawal rate, maybe, and so you're taking $600,000 a year.
Yep.
I really need to run it and really sit with it and make sure, like, how does this impact with your retirement probability of success?
There's always the framing too of, okay, so you've got these big trips coming up. Is that just going to change in its name going forward? So it's the big trips now. It's going to be the second home later. It's going to be X, Y, and Z later.
Oh.
So then it becomes, okay, is this a one-time deal? Because if your withdrawal rate goes from a 3 to a 6 for 1 year, that might not be material. It cannot go from 3 to 6 indefinitely.
We're 74. Our advisor keeps talking about doing Roth conversions because our tax bracket is so low. We're due to inherit an IRA value at $4 million very soon because my mom's health is declining rapidly. Will that change his strategy, and what should we do before then? Yes,
it will change the strategy in the fact that you might need to do more Roth conversions now than you were expecting. If we kind of look at, well, what's the math of when you inherit an IRA, you have to take distributions out over 10 years and completely liquidate the account. That is also going to be coupled with you've got to take a minimum amount out each year. IRS rules change all the time, so this is pending. But you've got to be aware of, okay, if you're in a low tax bracket situation now and someone is suggesting Roth conversions and you need to get money in Roth because in a few years, your situation is going to change to where you've got a huge amount of pre-tax money and it's all going to be subject to income taxes. Yes, you should be doing aggressive Roth conversions now.
And you better have a good advisor. Like, I would sit for a while in those scenarios, wouldn't you? Like, I'd be running that, finding the break even. Like, that's going to take some time. That's not like a quick analysis. And that's really knowing the client too. What are their spending habits? What's going to happen over the next 10 or 12 years? I hope they spend time on that to find the break even.
Yeah, this is not just a tax bracket problem.
This is a detailed scenario problem.
Yeah.
But good problem to have.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but no way. There's definitely some Roth conversion in that one. Yeah.
We are going into highlights. This is the section of our podcast where we talk about what's personal and professional in a good way to us. Sit back. Enjoy.
2026, as we're doing stuff on 2026, this is the year that the 40 people turning 40, my friends are turning 40 is coming. And it's really cool. It's almost like the whole new wedding season again, but you don't have to go to the weddings. It's like you actually get to go do some really fun things and go on trips and be with only their special people. But I have a lot of travel this year. I think I already have 4 trips, like big trips that are coming up because my friends are turning 40. And I'm so excited for this year.
That sounds a lot better than weddings.
Yes. Weddings, I mean, you don't really get to be with the person, right? You're there to support them, but you don't really spend a lot of time with the person on their wedding.
Yeah, dressed up all casual. Not casual, all smart. And you're not casual. Like, are you going to the beach destinations for birthdays?
Some are beach. Most of them are like beach fun. Yeah.
A lot more fun.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Oh, good. We need to see pictures.
Okay.
All right, mine is going to be very specific to my target audience location-wise. I don't remember the last time I was proud and pleased to be a Chicago Bears fan.
Good, better, bad. Never let it run. Good gets better. It better get better. Bears on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Is that football?
Shut up.
No, I'm serious. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
It's been a long time since A, we've had a winning season, B, we've made it to the playoffs, or even been a contender in the NFC North. Did any of that mean anything to you?
No,
That's fine. I'll just talk to the camera. It's been exciting to see good football, an amazing coach. Regardless of what the season ends up being, I think this is the first time in a long time I have been proud and excited to be a Bears fan rather than just be like, yeah, it's fine. So,
is there a chance of Super Bowl?
I don't know if I go that far.
Okay.
I'm hopeful, but I don't know. There's a lot of good teams, and I don't think they're quite there yet. Maybe in a couple years.
Okay. I knew the Super Bowl.
Congratulations. Thank you for listening to this episode of Playbook of the Wealthy. If you want to listen to more episodes, we are wherever you can find podcasts. If you want to watch us on a video format, we are on YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn, Instagram. Again, anywhere you can find videos, we're there. If you just don't want to do that at all, send us an email, hello@playbookotw.com, and we'll see you next time.
And I love your questions. Please email them. We absolutely love them. We will definitely answer them. And toodles!
All opinions expressed by Dave Grant and Heather Townsend are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the views of their respective wealth management firms. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Nothing in this material constitutes a solicitation for the sale or purchase of any securities. Clients of Retirement Matters and Townsend Financial may maintain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.